Greetings and salutations, friends and gamers of all stripes. My name is GM Dave. I am your man behind the screen, and today we are not discussing tabletop gaming. Rather, we're going to be discussing something that affects YouTubers as a whole, and really content creators as a whole, as this is likely going to have a rippling effect across the internet. What I am talking about, for those of you unaware, is YouTubers Union and FairTube, and the legal action they are trying to bring against YouTube in order to create a more fair working environment for their creators. Now, I'm not going to go into deep detail about what YouTubers Union and FairTube is. I'm just going to give something brief on that because what I want to actually talk about is the importance of diversification. However, in order to discuss why this is important, we do need to take a brief look at the YouTubers Union, the FairTube campaign, and IG Metall, which is a massive labor union organization from Germany. So what is the YouTubers Union and the FairTube campaign? Well, to make a long story very, very short, a German YouTuber by the name of Jörg Sprava, who runs the Slingshot channel, teamed up with the major German union IG Metall in order to bring some kind of legal action against YouTube for his channel being hit and for others' channels being hit. Essentially, it's a YouTube labor union, or at least as close to it as a bunch of YouTubers could possibly make. And it is teamed up with the most major labor union in Germany. Again, the aforementioned IG Metall. Now, the plan they have is to bring YouTube to the table to discuss a whole bunch of demands that they have. They want to, in very brief, they want to monetize everyone, disable the bots, have transparent content decision, payment for views, stop demonetization on the whole, equal treatment for all partners, payment according to delivered value, and clarification of the rules. Some of these proposals are definitely good ideas. Others have some problems. I'm not going to go into a breakdown of why exactly I think this, and I'm not going to go into a breakdown here and now of why I'm ultimately against the union. Suffice it to say, I have worked jobs in the past where you are part of a union. There is a lot of issues that happen with unions, and there's a lot of reasons why I don't support them, but I'm going to leave that out of this video for now. Suffice it to say, I'm not happy about this idea, particularly the fact that it's coming from Germany and would be affecting an American company. But I digress. Long story short, a bunch of YouTubers are getting together to sort of put up a bit of legal representation against YouTube for the way that their channels have been treated. And in my opinion, they are fundamentally misunderstanding the place that they have on YouTube. And why do I say that? Because YouTube isn't an employer of ours, they are a platform we publish on. Here's the thing. If you're a YouTuber who is doing this for money and you're just treating this like a job, your thinking is wrong. Straight up, your thinking is wrong. This is not a job you are doing. You are running a business. And yes, there is a distinction. You aren't working for YouTube, you're working for yourself. You are your own boss. Unfortunately, that means that we are going to be subject to the whims of YouTube and Google. How they want to run the platform, the content they want to promote or demote, all of that stuff, that's up to them. Which means ultimately, when it comes down to it, the success or failure of our content is reliant on us. We need to get the word out there ourselves. We need to promote our content. And most importantly, we need to make sure we're not putting our eggs in one basket. Hence, the need to diversify. Now, a lot of YouTubers that I watch do diversify quite a bit. They have branched out onto multiple platforms to share their videos. But for all the YouTubers I watch that have done this, there are just as many, if not many, many more that don't. This, quite frankly, is baffling to me. This is your livelihood. This is your career. This is your business. You might not be paying the self-employment tax or any of that for doing this, but it is your business. If you are making this content and getting money for making this content, if this is what you do for a living, it's not a job. You're not working for YouTube. YouTube isn't your employer. They are just one platform that hosts your content. You are your employer. So you should be diversifying. Which is to say, in no uncertain terms, you need to be putting your content on more sites than just YouTube. You should absolutely not be putting all your eggs in just one basket. So get out there, branch out, diversify, start going to other platforms. Now, you might be wondering, well, what platforms could I go to? I've got two for you here right off the bat. One of them is actually the second biggest video hosting platform in the world, and it's going to surprise you. Dailymotion. Yes, that French website that doesn't look like it has a whole lot of engagement because there aren't a whole lot of people that subscribe to the channels there. Well, here's the thing. Dailymotion doesn't work on a subscriber basis. It works on a views basis. Most of the people that interact with Dailymotion are not subscribers, but Dailymotion has the second highest number of interactions of any other video hosting site on the internet, with the first obviously being YouTube. So yes, Dailymotion, it is worth it to get your content on that site. Another one you can use, BitChute. BitChute is pretty small still, but it is growing, and it is growing rapidly. Furthermore, the man behind BitChute is innovating at an incredible pace. Since the site uses a peer-to-peer model in order to host the content, there's a lot less issue with servers, a lot less issue with bandwidth problems. It really is a fantastic site. And the very nice thing, if you have a YouTube account already, which I'm assuming you do if you're listening to this video and you're giving a shit about this at all, if you have a YouTube account already, if you go to BitChute, you can enter the URL for your YouTube account to link the accounts, and the vast majority of the videos you post will automatically be mirrored on BitChute. Automatically. Hands off. You don't even need to go there and necessarily mess with it over much. And that will give your audience a whole other area they can go to find you should something go wrong and your channel disappear. There's a few other options you can go to as well. VidMe is still kind of a thing, a little bit. The site's still around, but it is essentially defunct still. If you're really desperate, that is an option. But there's plenty of options out there on the internet in terms of what you can find for video hosting sites. My chief recommendations would be Dailymotion and BitChute, because Dailymotion is the second biggest, and BitChute is a really major up-and-comer that a lot of people have been looking at. However, diversification is going to come from more than just your YouTube presence. Your other social media presences should be diversified as well, which is to say that Facebook and Twitter should not be the only additional platforms you are interacting with, nor should Instagram or any of the other ones that are really popular. You need to start looking towards other platforms that are growing. Because the simple fact of the matter is that due to the many issues that they've been having, the many controversies they've been running into, Facebook and Twitter are slowly dying as platforms. There are more people leaving them than there are joining. You need to find platforms where people are joining frequently. And yes, that does mean that some of these platforms are going to get called some pretty unkind things by their competitors because, well, they're competing. Platforms like Minds and Gab are actually very good for giving out notifications about your videos and will have an entire new audience section that you could potentially interact with. I myself use both of them, and I've never really run into any problems of people of a, let's say, questionable nature. In truth, I've probably run into that more on Facebook than I have anywhere else, but that's really just because I don't use Twitter for anything more than a notification machine. Same with Gab, actually. Don't really care too much for either platform beyond that. But there are additional options beyond these as well. Telegram, for example, is another good Twitter alternative that is becoming pretty popular of late. It has seen a really rapid amount of growth over the past year, and it would be worthwhile to look into that one too. In fact, I myself am going to be doing that later today. But to cut a long video short, the ultimate moral of this story: diversify your content. Don't put your eggs in one basket if you don't want to fail. Because the simple fact of the matter is that this is not a job. If you are making money posting content to the internet, you're not doing it as a job. You are running a business and a brand. And if you want that business and brand to succeed, you need to diversify. And that's about all I have for you today, friends and gamers. We'll be getting back to our more standard content a little bit later on in the month as we get things sort of squared away, put back together, and set back on the right track. Expect to see a podcast coming up on the channel in the near future of some live play D&D. And I will hope to see you next time when we put up our next proper video, where we're once again going to be going back to the Bestiary series to look at the many varied versions of orcs out there. But in the meantime, friends and gamers of all stripes, as usual, my name is GM Dave. I am your man behind the screen, and it is my sincere hope that you roll high, roleplay well, and game on.